Why is that?
So basically, if you look at how the number is calculated, it underestimates the human costs of greenhouse gas emissions. And that matters a lot because the Biden administration has promised to slash greenhouse gas emissions to zero across the country by 2050. But the federal government actually doesn't have that many tools in its toolbox to do that. Tama Carlton is a climate economist at the University of California, Santa Barbara.
We don't have other avenues for large-scale climate policy at the federal level. This is our main tool.
Okay, so lay it out then. How can this one number be such a powerful tool for cutting emissions?
Because every major regulation is required to go through something called a cost-benefit analysis to make sure that it's worth it, economically speaking. That the benefits of, say, reducing emissions from cars and trucks outweigh the costs to car companies and consumers. For example, this method was used to get rid of lead paint.
Okay.
And this calculation actually came up recently during the Trump administration. That administration was getting rid of some regulations about the emissions from cars and trucks, meaning that vehicles could emit more pollution. And one way that they justified that was to use a method for calculating the social cost of carbon that spit out a really low number, like about $10.
And so by setting a really low cost, they could then say it's not worth it to invest in cars to make them more efficient, right?
Exactly. And on the flip side, a higher social cost of carbon number would make it easier to justify regulations that cut emissions, even if those regulations might not be politically popular in the short term. For example, replacing all of America's power plants with renewable energy right away, or ending fossil fuel extraction in the U.S. That would be really expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the benefits to humanity are paltry, maybe it doesn't make sense. But if the benefits to humanity are really big, then the government should do it. At least that's the idea.
All right, so the EPA is proposing almost quadrupling the current social cost of carbon number. I'm guessing that's got a lot of people excited?
Yeah, totally.
Wait, this number is way better than the earlier number.
Daniel Hemmel is a law professor at New York University, and he specifically studies these cost-benefit analyses.
So going from $51 to $190, that's a